Hey guys, welcome back to the Streams of Income radio show. I'm your host, Ryan Rieger. I'm so excited to dig into something today that's been on my heart for a while. So, I know normally I have guests on here, and we've had some great guests. I'm very excited to bring you tons more, but there's just been something on my heart that I feel like I really need to share. So, today, you guys just get me. Hopefully, you're excited about that. But anyway, I get emails all the time from folks. And many times the emails I get are from men. And I'm actually going to read a couple of them. I'll leave out their names to protect their anonymity. Um, but these resonate with me, guys. And these are emails that a lot of them are similar. And I love helping these folks. And please, ladies who are listening to this, know that I care about the ladies too, and I have thousands of ladies in my audience, and lots of ladies have gone through my courses, read my books, and we've helped them, and that's awesome. But being a dad, I really feel like I connect with that dad out there who just is not happy doing what he's doing. He may hate his job. Maybe you want to start a business, but you're not sure where to start. You know that there's more. You know that God has called you to something different, maybe something better, and you're just not sure where to start with that, what to do. Maybe the dream, you feel like the dream has died on the inside of you, and you just need that reignited. So today, my goal is to help you reignite your dreams. And it's something that I have been blessed to be able to help people with over the last few years. And those light bulb moments when I talk to them, when they send back an email after I've given them some advice, and they say that that's helped them, or especially when I'm meeting with them in person, I can totally see those light bulbs going off. I can see that flicker of that dream that was once inside them begin to burn bright again, and I want that for you. And so, ladies, this is totally for you as well. But just know that being a dad, I have a special place in my heart for that dad who, let me describe, I mean, in business, you're supposed to have your ideal avatar. It's called an avatar. It's your ideal audience, your ideal customer, your ideal client. And in my case, the person I think about when I think about who I serve the best or who I just identify with the most is that father. And it doesn't matter whether you're a father, again, you're a lady, or you're 70 or you're 7. The things that we talk about on this show are applicable to you. You can do everything here, but right now, for this moment, I'm talking to the dads. And just know that you're on my heart, and the emails I get from you guys just really hit me hard, and I want to help you. And so, are you in a position where maybe, and here's the ideal person I think about, and this is a guy that I will call him Jay, okay? And so Jay has a job that he hates, and it's paying the bills, but barely. And Jay has a couple of small kids. When he in the mornings when he's going to work, heading out the door, the kids are hanging onto his legs, and almost sometimes they're in tears because they don't want him to leave. They're saying, "Daddy, don't leave. Stay here and play with us." And Jay himself is fighting back tears because he desperately wants to be home with them. He wants to have an online business or some type of business that allows him to spend more time at home. So he walks out the door, gets into his car, drives, and I imagine, Jay having an hour-long commute. I know some of you guys may have longer commutes than that. Some have shorter, but I think of Jay sitting in that traffic, sitting in a traffic jam, and he's just desperate. He wants something different. It's a Monday morning, and he had a great weekend with his kids and dreaded to go and work Sunday night. He was starting to dread Monday morning, and here's Monday morning. And he's sitting in bumper to bumper traffic, going to a job that he hates. And then he gets to work, and he's in a cubicle. There's no windows in this room, and so there's no natural light in, and so it just adds even more to how depressed he feels. He gets through work, and 5 o'clock rolls around. He's out of there as fast as he can, only to face another hour-long commute back home, bumper to bumper traffic. He can't wait to get home to see his kids. He finally does. Let's say it's around 6:30. He has dinner, and his kids go to bed at 7:30 or 8 o'clock. So Jay only has an hour, maybe an hour and a half at the most, with his kids in the evenings. And so he's working for the weekend. He can't wait for the weekend when he gets to do something fun with them, spend more time with them. And it seems like he just does not get that special time or that quality time that he so desires and his kids so desire. And then the same thing happens on Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday. And he just does it every single day. Um, that's the guy I really feel in my heart that is my ideal person, the ideal person that I feel like I can identify with the most. Again, if you're a lady or you don't identify with this exactly, you're welcome in on this show. You're welcome to listen. You're welcome to read my book, take any of the courses, and I've helped thousands of people who don't fit this. But I just know that the person that I really feel like is the one that I just am most equipped and get just a whole heck of a lot of joy out of helping is those fathers that desperately want something different. So I'm talking to you today. I'm actually going to read a couple of emails that I have gotten recently from folks, and we're going to also just call this person Jay as well. This is a Facebook message, and he says, I wanted to reach out to you for a bit but haven't had the chance. He goes on to say that he shares some personal details that I won't share here, but he was sharing with somebody about some direction the Lord had given him and how we were to start pressing for business ideas and opportunities and to be working towards multiple streams of revenue coming into our house. My wife and I had it on our heart for about a year to be financially independent so that we can serve and not be tied to a paycheck every 2 weeks. Long story short, this person he was talking to says you need to talk to Ryan. So then Jay reaches out to me, and back to his message, he says he mentioned this is what you specialize in and have done for yourself. I've noticed that on Facebook you have a book coming out about this very topic. At the end, he says, I'm not even sure where to start with this, but have this burning passion on the inside that I need to pursue this. And so we started conversation back and forth. Somebody else, just guys, this is just a few days ago. I get an email from somebody. We'll call him John. He says, after considering getting into FBA, so FBA is fulfillment by Amazon. We talk about that on this show quite a bit. He says, and after reading your book, Streams of Income, I was laid off from my job back in August, and we are barely making it right now. I've had several good phone interviews and a few prospects, but to be honest, going back to a regular job truly depresses me. I want to be able to set my schedule and be active in my kids' lives and be able to take care of my wife and kids the way they deserve. Man, I got that email. I wrote back to John and I said, John, let's get on a call because this is the exact person I feel like I am called to help. And so we got on a call and I was able to point him in the right direction and actually offer him some help. Guys, there is no greater joy for me than being able to do that very thing. This is why this radio show exists. If you're listening to me and you feel like you're like Jay or you're like John and you've lost a job and going back to a regular job depresses you, you want to start a business, or you are at a job and it's just sucking the life out of you and you feel like, man, there's got to be something different, there's got to be something better than this, there's got to be something better than spending 8 hours a day going to a job I hate and missing all this time with my family. Well, man, I am here to tell you that there is. And guys, I have been living this dream for several years now. I know if you listen to episode 1, you hear more of my story, and I'm not going to repeat that here, but I was able to, in 2008, I lost my job, was working for a political campaign. So I knew that I wanted to get into business. It was the perfect opportunity at that time for me. I just moved to Texas. And so we got this business going. And by the time my son rolls around, a lot later than we had hoped, I'll talk to you guys more about that here on this episode, actually, about what happened there. But finally in 2017, Callan was born, and I had already been home by that time. In fact, I haven't had a real job since 2008, and so blessed and thankful for that. But guys, it is possible. There are so many people in my community that have been able to quit their jobs because of starting an online business. And I want you to be the next success story. That's why I'm doing this. That's why I wrote this book. That's why I'm doing this radio show. that came out of the blue that God laid down and essentially laid in my lap and gave me this opportunity to reach out to more people that need to hear this message. So listen to the rest. I got just couple more segments, 3 more segments left of this show. I'm going to show you how to reignite those dreams inside of you. We're going to go through an exercise that'll help you figure out what your ideal looks like. And just start, I want you to start dreaming again. That's what this episode is about, to reignite those dreams inside of you and help you start dreaming again. Guys, this is Ryan Rieger with Streams of Income Radio. We'll be right back. Hey guys, welcome back to Streams of Income Radio. I'm your host, Ryan Rieger. You can get my book, Streams of Income, for free at streamsofincomeradio.com. Also, this show is a podcast. All the episodes that we've ever done are on demand at streamsofincomeradio.com. You can see all the show notes, every link that has ever been mentioned on this show. You can get access there. I know some of you are driving in your car. Maybe you're out jogging, listening to this. Don't feel like you have to write all that stuff down. That is all there at streamsofincomeradio.com. So guys, we're talking about just reigniting those dreams inside of you. We're going to go through an exercise here right now that has been huge for me, for my life, for my business, that I want you guys to take seriously because it can totally change your life. So, especially if you feel like you identify with that person I described who's going to a job that they hate, who feels like there's got to be more to this thing called life, that you desperately want to be home with your kids, your wife. You get home late and there's just not time to spend that quality time that you want. You're living for the weekend. I'm here to help you guys. That's what this show is about. That's why I'm doing this. So let's dig into this. I'm here to tell you that every single one of you can move from where you are now to a place where you are living out your ideal day. Now, what do I mean by that? The ideal day is the day where it's just like the perfect day. You're doing exactly what you want to do when you want to do it. You're living it on your terms. If you want to go play that day, you can. If you want to get a lot of work done, you can. If you want to go out to the zoo with your kids, you can do that. It's because you have essentially time freedom. You're financially independent to do what you want when you want to do it. Guys, this is possible. And this exercise today is going to help you take a huge, giant leap forward into what I believe God has called you to do. So if you're listening right now, I know if you're driving, don't do this. You can do this later. But just remember some of these questions. You can get this episode at streamsofincomeradio.com. So don't feel pressure to do all this now if you're not in a place to do this exercise with me. But get out a piece of paper right now, get a pen, and let's go through this together. So I wanted to tell you that back when I lost the job, lost the campaign that we were running, and I moved to Texas. So this was end of 2008. I remember in January 2019, or sorry, January 2009, I was spending some time in prayer. And guys, all my good ideas come from time in prayer. That is, I could do a whole podcast or a radio episode on that. But I wrote down what my dream position was. I knew that I wanted to do business, that I wanted to have an online business, but I kept the door open for going back to a regular job. And so, but I had some pretty high demands on what I thought that position would look like, or what would even make me happy to go back to a regular job. Here's what I wrote down. This is in my journal. Flexible hours, high pay, wanted $100,000 per year plus. I wanted the opportunity to work from home. I wanted vacation time whenever I need it. I wanted great people to work with. And then I wanted a cause, a mission, a vision that I love and am passionate about. So this was January 2009. And guys, I'm telling you, by October or November of that same year, every single one of those things had come to pass. Our furniture business was booming. So I never had to go get a regular job. Again, my heart's desire was to be in an online business because that had been on my heart for a long time, but this was the perfect opportunity. And so we went head first into that furniture business that I mentioned on episode 1, and the Lord blessed it. We did $250,000 in just the Dallas-Fort Worth area, only selling furniture through Craigslist. And so by October or November of that year, all these things had come to pass for me. Now, guys, I believe there is power in writing down your vision. The book of Habakkuk talks about writing the vision, making it plain. This is what we're going to do today. This is the exercise I call your ideal day. And it's that day where essentially, like I said before, you're doing every single thing that you want to do, and it's almost the perfect day. Okay, so here's what I want you to think about. Can you imagine? Can you imagine this? Waking up without an alarm clock. Now that would be nice too. I have a 2-year-old son, and so before he was born, this was reality for me. Now he's my alarm clock. Actually, I most of the days I wake up before him. I do set my alarm because I want to get have my quiet time before he wakes up, and sometimes he wakes up early. But maybe you're not in a position where maybe you don't have kids at home, and you're going to a job and you have to wake up super early, but you'd love to be able to sleep in till 7 or 8 in the morning. Um, and maybe you're a night owl and you want to sleep in later, that's fine too. But can you imagine waking up without an alarm clock? Imagine not having to fight traffic to go to a job that you hate. Imagine being able to go on those vacations or a cruise, or and not having to ask your boss for permission to do any of that, or not stressing when you get an unexpected bill. So you get something a bill in the mail or something that you weren't planning on, and you have the finances to take care of it. It's just, you just write a check and it's taken care of. You're not stressing over it. And here's a big one for me. Can you imagine being able to give more? So in my first episode, I talk about, and there's a whole chapter in my book, a short chapter called Why I Wrote This Short Book. And it was is essentially, I want people to be able to have money, to be able to give to the causes that they care about. Guys, if you have that desire, if you want to give more to your church or to your favorite charity, and you're living paycheck to paycheck, you can't. It's not possible. And I know that so many of you want that. You want to be able to write big checks, or even any checks at all. And it's frustrating when you really want to help and you can't. Guys, that's one of the reasons I wrote this book. I want more of you to get out of debt, to be able to have that extra income, to be able to do what's on your heart. And God, guys, I believe God wants that for you as well. And that He wants you to be able to have that extra finances, to be able to be a blessing, so that you're blessed to be a blessing. And I'm telling you, it is so awesome being able to meet somebody's needs that way, and to give them a check, and to take care of what's going on in their lives. And so think about that as we go through this. So get out your pen and paper. Again, if you're driving, don't do this. Do this later. Go to streamsofincomeradio.com, and you'll be able to go through this on your own pace. And also, pretty soon, I'm going to be coming out with a worksheet that you can have that make this a little bit more official. But for now, just get out a pen and paper and go through this exercise with me, because you got to get it down on paper before, and this is important, before you'll see it out here where your hands are, before you see it materialize, you have to see it in your heart and in your head. You've got to see it here in your heart before you can see it manifest in the natural where your hands can touch it. Okay. So just be looking at this all the time. All right. So let's go through this. What time are you getting up? So maybe right now you get up because your alarm tells you to. You have to be at work at 8 or 9 in the morning. What time is it? What time is your ideal day start? Okay. Are you waking up without an alarm clock? And get as specific as possible. The more specific you can be, the better. Are you grabbing a cup of coffee next? What cup of coffee is it? What type of coffee is it? Do you have a Keurig? Do you brew it? Do you have a French press? What kind? Get specific. What are you doing with that after? Are you going to maybe go out? I love sitting out on my porch. I love turning on the fountain and hearing the water flow. It's just kind of relaxing for me. Or I love going upstairs sometimes when the house is super quiet, nobody else is up. What are you doing with that cup of coffee? Or what's that first thing you do right when your feet hit the floor? What are you going to do? Maybe you're going to go work out. Maybe you go to the gym. Okay. One thing I love to do is I love to turn on worship music. I love writing in my journal. I love having my quiet time. What's What does your morning routine look like after you wake up? All right. What's next for you? What are you going to do after you wake up, after you have that cup of coffee, after you have that quiet time? Be specific. Maybe if you have your own business, maybe you're going to do a little work. Maybe your kids get up, guys. If you have younger kids, maybe that you woke up early, had some quiet time. Maybe you went to the gym and worked out, and your kids get up around 8 or 9 in the morning, and now you have some time to hang out with them. What's that look like? Are you playing blocks on the floor? Maybe you're going to the zoo for a couple of hours. Maybe you just play some games, or you go outside, go to the park. Be very specific. The more specific you can be, the better with this exercise. Okay, so what happens after your morning time? After you get some work done, maybe after you play with your kids, what's lunch? What's lunch look like for you? Maybe you're going to go out to your favorite restaurant. Maybe you take a really long lunch. You go for an hour and a half or 2 hours. Maybe it's a business lunch, or maybe you're taking your wife out and you guys just go have some time, and a babysitter comes over. Again, be super specific about this. The more specific, the better. And guys, we just have a few seconds left in the segment. We're going to continue this in the next segment, but I want you to take this seriously, because this has changed my life. This exercise of seeing my future and planning my ideal day has changed everything for me. And so, guys, we'll be right back. This is Ryan Rieger with Streams of Income Radio. Hey guys, welcome back to the Streams of Income Radio Show. I'm your host, Ryan Rieger. You can get my book for free. It's called Streams of Income, the same name as this show. You can get it for free at streamsofincomeradio.com. And I know that this episode's a little bit different. I'm going solo on this, and I'm taking everybody through an exercise. And so you're going to want to go back and listen to this. All of the episodes are at that page, streamsofincomeradio.com. This has been turned into a podcast. So 24/7, you can go there and download this episode and go through it, because I believe this is one of the most important episodes I've ever done and ever will do, because this whole exercise has changed my business, changed my life. And I actually did not do this in the second segment here, and I meant to do this. I wanted to tell you what my ideal day looked like when I wrote this down 6 years ago. Remember, almost none of this had come to pass. I was basically writing down things that I had in my heart that I wanted to see accomplished in my life. And so remember, I wrote this when none of this was a reality. I wanted to wake up without an alarm clock. I wanted to grab coffee, sit on the porch, listen to the fountain. I wanted to turn on worship music and write in my journal. I wanted to be able to spend that time and review my dreams and my goals. And here's the one for sure that was not reality in our lives at the time. I wanted to hear the pitter patter of little feet coming and interrupting me while I'm doing my morning routine. And at the time, I had no idea if we were going to have a boy or a girl. And guys, I'll be very vulnerable with you in the next couple segments, because my wife and I had some serious issues with infertility, and I'll go over that and just be real and raw with you here. But we did not have kids at this time when I was writing this, so we were believing for children, and so I wanted to be sitting outside on the porch and hear little feet coming and interrupting me and saying, "Daddy, let's play." And so I'd spend a couple hours playing. Whatever that was. I wasn't super specific on this, like I've told you to get. But I said, put it on here to play a little bit, then go to the office for a couple hours. I imagined that my business would look like, where I'd be doing more coaching, more consulting. I had no idea if I'd be doing a podcast or a radio show or anything like that. But that time would be perfect for essentially recording a podcast or a radio episode. Then I put on here that I would go have lunch, that I would work a little bit more during my child's nap time. And then after that, I would walk around the neighborhood. I love thinking. Thinking is been huge for me in my business. Thinking, praying, listening to a podcast as I walk around the neighborhood. There's just a nice, relaxing way for me to kind of unwind. But I get a lot of work done. A lot of my work happens up here in my head. And so that time is always super valuable. And then I wrote down that I'd have a relaxing dinner with my wife and son. And Guys, all this has been reality for me. I'll talk more about that specifically, but I believe writing this down is so key, so super important. I know a lot of people don't write down their dreams and goals. Do it. The ones who do it are the ones that see it happen. I've seen it happen over and over and over again with students. Those that are specific about what they want to achieve in business and their life, those are the ones that see it happen. And so don't get all caught up in, that the goals have to be perfect, or that you have to, goals can change. And so just having something written down will propel you and motivate you to move forward. So let's go back to our ideal day exercise. We talked about we lunch, and then so get super specific. What does lunch look like for you? Are you going out to your favorite restaurant? I love to eat Mexican food, so for me it might be, going to a favorite Mexican place with my family, maybe grabbing a steak, and then coming back and doing a little bit more work. What's that look like? What are you working on? Are you working on your in your current job? Maybe you are able to work from home on your job and you love your job. Or if you don't like your job, what type of business are you doing, and what does that work entail? So what are you doing after lunch? Another thing I did not mention before is, where are you waking up? So some of you, I know that you may not be in your ideal home, or you may not be in your dream house. What does your dream house look like? Guys, this is your ideal day. You don't have to share any of this with anybody, so you can keep this super private. And I want you to dream big. I give you permission right now to dream big. What are those things inside you that you just know that they're a dream for you, but you might be nervous to put them down, or nervous to tell anybody? Well, don't tell anybody. That's okay. Write them down though. These are the things that are just between you and the Lord. And just say, if you aren't in your ideal situation, maybe you live in an apartment, you want to own a home, put that down, that you're waking up in your brand new home, and get specific about it. I know this is easier for some than others, but what does that home look like? What's your bedroom look like when you're waking up? And so get super specific about it. So after lunch, you may go back to work. Maybe you're just going to take the rest of the day off. Maybe you're going to go play with your kids. Maybe you're going to go to the zoo. Whatever it is, guys, this is your ideal day. This is exactly what you want to be doing. And so write down what that looks like for you. And then think about the end of your day. What happens in the evening? Maybe you didn't go out for lunch that day, so you're going to go out for a nice dinner with your family, or maybe you're going to drop the kids off at your parents' house, and you and your wife are going to go out and have a date night. Maybe you're going to, what's that date night look like? Do you guys like to do movies? Do you guys like to do more active things? Maybe you're going to go out and work out, or you're going to go play tennis, or I don't know, whatever it is for you that, like, man, this would be awesome to be able to do this. I mean, remember, you're not fighting traffic now. So what's that time look like? What are you doing with all that time? So what are you doing in the evening? So maybe then you play with the kids some more. You watch a movie with them at home. Um, Again, super specific. What's that look like? Do you have a media room at your new house? What are you watching? What kind of movie is it? Uh, think about that. Think about after you drop your kids off to bed, you and your wife have some quality time to talk. To maybe now you guys watch your movie or whatever it is, guys. This is your day. Be specific. Be Just dream big, and just put down whatever it is you feel in your heart. Now think about this. How would you feel to have that perfect day? How would you feel to have accomplished every single thing that you wanted to accomplish, to have done every single thing that you wanted to do? It was on your time. It was, nobody was telling you could or could not do it. You were doing it because you wanted to. And it was the perfect day for you. How you was perfectly productive, but also perfectly restful. You woke up when you wanted to, and you're going to bed when you want to. And then you get to do it over again the next day. Think about how you would feel. Write that down. How energizing would that be? Or maybe you're super tired because it was a super fun day, and so you're really looking forward to getting to bed and waking up tomorrow and doing something similar. So think about that. How would you feel? Guys, congratulations. And I mean it. This is huge. Most people never ever do this. Most people don't do this exercise. Most people don't write down what they actually want. I actually had somebody, I gave a talk similar to this at a conference. and somebody came up to me the next day and said that they actually felt like they have never had permission to dream, that they had never done an exercise like this because they didn't know that they could. They didn't know that they could dream like this. Guys, I'm telling you that you can. I know, that think about when you were a kid, you dreamed big. And I know you maybe had some silly dreams. For me, I loved playing basketball. And so a dream for me would have been to play in the NBA. Now I'm 5'8". So yeah, I know there's been some people like Spud Webb who were shorter and made it and did really well. But guys, for me, playing in NBA, that was kind of a big crazy dream. And so I know that as a kid you have some crazy dreams, but what are some of those dreams that were from the Lord, or just from deep down inside you, that you wanted to accomplish, that you might have just kind of put down and suppressed because life got in the way, or you took the safe, easier route? And bring those back up. So I think of this in a way of like, a pilot light on a water heater. It's that little flame that's still burning down there, and it's always on. You may have that little flame of a pilot light in your heart for those dreams that God has called you to. Maybe you have kind of tried to ignore them, put something over it so you don't see it, or you just figure like, no, that can't happen anymore. I'm too old. I'm way past that, or that's just not safe for me to do. Guys, I give you permission to dream and to dream big. There's one book I love, besides the Bible, that's really been a blessing and kind of goes right along with this. It's called The Magic of Thinking Big, and it's by David Schwartz. And it's just about dreaming big. You have an imagination, use it. I believe that God wants us to dream big. I believe that those dreams that He's put in you are from Him, and that, guys, you are essentially, I believe that you're responsible for carrying those out. Because here's why: I believe those dreams are for other people. I believe that there are people on the other side of your dream that are waiting on you to make that happen, because they need what's inside you. They need that message that you have for the world to hear. And so don't suppress this. Now is the time to take action. And you've taken a huge step already by writing this down. You guys, we're going to get more into this in the next in the next segment. But thank you for doing this. I know this is going to be awesome for you. And we'll come back here in the next segment to wrap this up. I'm Ryan Rieger with Streams of Income Radio. We'll be right back. Hey everyone, welcome back to the Streams of Income Radio Show. I'm your host, Ryan Rieger. Grab my book for free. It's called Streams of Income. You can get it at streamsofincomeradio.com. I believe it'll bless you, help you figure out if you're in this position where you want to start a business, but you're not sure where to start. I believe this book will really help you, point you in the right direction. If you had the opportunity to go through those last couple segments and do this exercise, guys, again, I tell you, congratulations for doing that. You've taken a huge step into realizing your dreams and making your dreams a reality. Now, what happens after this? Here's what I want you to do. I want you to keep looking at this. Don't just tuck this away under, a stack of books, or, put it underneath somewhere where you're not going to see it. I want you to look at this often. One other thing you can do too, and here's the reason why I said this earlier: you have to see it on the inside before you'll see any of this on the outside. You have to believe that this is possible. You have to believe that these dreams are something that you can do. I have seen it over and over and over again, guys, with students who have started a business with $0 and have turned it into something major, and have been able to live their dreams and live their ideal day. And I desperately want that for you. And so that's why I went through this. And I want you to keep looking at this, keep looking at it often. I look at my vision board every day. So let's talk about this. Take your ideal day. Take some of those things that could be put into pictures, and put it on a vision board. Now, I know you probably heard the term vision board and think maybe I don't want to create something that's, in my house, or I don't have a place to put it. That's okay. Mine is completely digital. I have an app called Trello that I posted on. It's Trello. I used an online collage maker that I could take several photos and put it into a collage and turn it into a picture file, essentially, that I look at every single morning. And that gives me, essentially, it sets my day. I'm like, this is what I'm working for. These are the dreams God's placed in my heart. This is why I'm doing what I'm doing. And so take that ideal day and put it into picture. So, for example, if you said that your ideal day was waking up in a new house, and it's 3,000 square feet, and 4 bedrooms, 3 baths, whatever it is. Especially the ladies are easier. It's easier for you, some of you ladies, to do this than us guys. But what's that house look like? Get a picture of it, search online, print it out, or find it in a magazine, cut that out and paste it somewhere. Paste it on an actual board, or if you're doing this digitally, just take that picture and put it on a collage, and create a vision board out of it that way. That's something I can look at on my phone if I want to, and just put it in a place that you can see it every single day. So put those into pictures. If it's maybe a certain amount of money that you want to make, put a check, even write yourself a check for that amount of money, and then have that on your vision board. If it's a certain place that you want to visit, go on vacation to, put that down, have a picture of that. If you've always wanted to go to Italy, where in Italy? So let's say Rome, for example, get a picture of Rome and put that on your vision board. Maybe you don't have kids and you want to have kids, put a picture of some kids, Photoshop them into a family photo. Guys, do this. I'm telling you, it works. And put this on your board where you can see it every single day. And here's the thing, guys, don't ever give up on this. Don't ever give up on your dreams. I'm telling you, I believe that the Lord has placed those dreams inside you. He wants to bless you, but those things are on there also for you to be a blessing to other people. You have things inside you that other people need, so do not give up on these. Let me walk you through and just get real honest with you guys now, because here's something that, as I told you, we had my ideal day back when I did this first time 6 years ago. We didn't have kids. And so it was always Melanie and I's dream to become parents. And so it's hard to imagine my life without Callan now. He's 2.5 years old, but it was not always that way. Guys, it was just Melanie and I for a while, and we have a great marriage and we love it, but we wanted desperately to have kids. And so what if Melanie and I had given up? I'll tell you our story really quickly. In 2012, we got pregnant. We were married in 2009 in April, and we wanted to have a couple years without kids, just to enjoy ourselves together. And so we started trying, and I think in about 2011. So 2012 comes around, and we find out we're pregnant at the end of the year. Well, one day I was out, we were still delivering furniture. My wife calls me and says that she noticed some spotting. Well, for you ladies, you know what that means. It's not always a bad thing for sure, but for us, it meant that essentially we found out that we had miscarried, and so that was rough. And we kept the dream alive, though, guys. We continued to believe that God wanted to bless us, that He wanted to. We looked at His Word and saw scriptures that said that we're going to be that my wife would be a joyful mother of children. So we took those scriptures and essentially made that. We looked at those often and made that essentially our vision board of the scriptures. To make a long story short, it happened. We had another miscarriage in 2014, and then another one in 2015. And guys, it was not easy. I look at my life now and I see Callan, and we're so blessed. But I think about some of the really tough times that we went through, specifically like Mother's Days and Father's Days. We go to church, and on those days, like on Mother's Days, then all the moms would get a rose or some other gift. And time after time, my wife would be, they'd always have the ladies stand up who are moms. And time after time, my wife would be sitting and just like wondering, like, God, when is our time? When's that going to happen for us? And sometimes we didn't even go to church on those days. It was just so super hard. Guys, do not give up on your dreams. What if we had given up? We wouldn't have Callan. So, thankfully in 2017, we got pregnant in 2016. with him. And at least for me, we're thinking, oh my gosh, help this to be okay. And thankfully it was. And in April 2017, we got our miracle boy. And we're thrilled and we're so blessed. But what if we had given up on that dream to be parents? Guys, your dream is important. Somebody needs what is inside you. Somebody is on the other side waiting on you to be obedient to that call and that dream that's been placed inside you. Your gift is not about you. Do not be selfish. Whatever is inside you is for somebody else. So what's stopping you from stepping out of your comfort zone? What's stopping you guys from creating that life that you want to live? Look at your ideal day often. Look at it and start taking steps toward that. You already took a huge step today by doing this exercise. And I know that some of you are in the car, you're out jogging, you can't do this. Go back, listen to this episode, streamsofincomeradio.com, and download this episode and go through this exercise. Pretty soon, I'm going to actually have a worksheet created to actually help people go through this because I believe it's so super important. I know that the benefit that it's had on our lives and my business, and I want this to have the same for you. So you took a huge step today. And once you go through this, you will have taken a huge step to realizing your dreams, but you've got to keep seeing it. You've got to keep looking at it. And the next step is to step into it. What does that mean for you? Maybe you already know the exact thing that you should be doing. If you have something on your heart, go for it. Follow those curiosities. Go after that. Don't wait any longer, guys. Write that book. Create that course. Start that speaking opportunity. Whatever you feel like is on your heart, step into it. I said earlier, follow your curiosities. That comes from my friend Dan Miller. And guys, when you find it, step into it with your whole heart. There is a world out there that is desperate for what you have to offer. You can do it and you must do it. And so I know this episode's been different. It's not been any of the episodes that I've had, and it might not be like any of the other ones. I love interviewing guests, having people on to tell their stories, and I'm going to have way more of that than me flying solo like I did today. But I just felt like it was super important for me to tell you that this ideal day exercise and just overall just knowing that those dreams that are still inside you, those can still happen. God can still make those happen for you, but you've got to step out. You've got to believe that it's possible. And I hope by listening to me today, those dreams have been reignited. Really feel like that's part of my call, is to reignite dreams in people and for you to know that you can still make it happen. It doesn't matter how old you are. So again, I know it's been different. Hopefully it's been valuable to you, that this has been a blessing to you. Let me know. I loved getting your feedback. You can send me an email at ryan@ryanrieger.com. I love getting feedback from you guys. Tell me your stories. Let me know how I can help you. If you feel like you're the guys that I mentioned earlier, send me an email. I love to help. I want to help you however I can. Again, this is Ryan Rieger. You've been listening to Streams of Income Radio. So thankful for you guys listening. It means the world to me. And we'll catch you in the next episode.